Hey, my lovies, how y'all doing today? I love you. Hey, do me a favor, hit that like button and that subscribe button because have I got a word for you guys today. Okay, I had to figure out how I was gonna bring this message, so bear with me, y'all. I gotta put two and two together. Remember, on my channel, we take the skin off. So I'm coming to you from the spirit realm. I'm not coming from you from a fleshly thinking. I'm coming to you spiritual wise. So kind of go with me in your imagination to try to grasp what I have to say. Okay, last night before I went to sleep, I was having a thing in me about blood. Okay, in the spirit realm, kingdom, the word kingdom created our blood. You can believe me if you want to, you don't have to, it doesn't matter because words, the words are what's telling the story, not me. The word is given to me, and I'm giving it to you how the word is giving it to me. But you can research all your holy scriptures and you'll figure out that I know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, in the beginning, God hovered over the water, right? And he saw his reflection into water substance. He saw his reflection for the first time. That created Jesus. So, Jesus, the substance water, and God is the baby of God's reflection, which is Jesus. Go with me in the spirit realm. So Jesus wouldn't be lonely. They created him a mind to play with, like a playmate. They put all the information into the mind. Everything you could think of is in the mind. Every word, everything that ever went down on the earth, just everything, because these are parts of God breaking down. Everything about God breaks down. We are God living on the inside. We are everything God speak, living. We are everything God do, living. Okay, that's who we are. Okay, so with this mind, you gotta think if this mind was given to Jesus as playmate, and this mind was all God's thoughts, his ways, whatever you could think that would be in the mind was given to Jesus and was teaching Jesus and getting to know Jesus. Jesus had to love it. They had to love each other. And if you think about it, there was a way for God to play with Jesus. There was a way for God to interact with Jesus because God is so powerful. He can't walk around because he'll mesh with things. If he mess around and see his reflection in something else, bam, he gonna create something else. Bam, he gonna create something else. Bam, he gonna create something else. So I think when he saw his reflection for the first time, you get the first you get that first feeling, you get that first that's me feeling, like you get the beginning feelings of everything, all the first feelings, emotions, excitement, goodness, all of that. That's what Jesus was, and he was the reflection. God saw his reflection. So Jesus was in love with this mind, and this mind had to be in love with Jesus. Like they had to be so freaking close. So the mind, I believe the mind was in trouble because the mind was put into us, right? And God couldn't come down here himself, which is he can't because he would mesh with everything. So God has to be in a place all to himself, a place so holy that no man can go into because you would mesh with God. God would mesh with you. Everything he does, he create, and that's his space. You ain't got no business being in his space. You shouldn't even want to know what's in that space. Like you shouldn't even want to know what God up to up there. You should leave well enough alone. Just be proud of the little information that you get, because God is so powerful. It'll blow your brain up trying to figure and hold all this stuff. I thank God that he holds some stuff back from us. I don't want to know what God up to in that place, in his personal space. That man got a right to his own personal space. But he was kind enough and clever enough to put himself in his reflection. Like Jesus is his reflection. So since he can't interact with us, he sent his reflection after us. He sent his reflection down here to see about us. And his reflection is all of the all of the goodness, all of the first, all of the just the just the good stuff, all of the healing, all of the Holy Spirit, really just all of those goodness feelings. He was all of that. He was truth. He was the first, the first R moment all day, every day. He was the first R moment. Try to be that, okay? Go with me in imagination, y'all. Go with me, okay? So, if the mind was in trouble, it would make sense that Jesus would be the one to come and save the mind. Because Jesus is God reflection. And the mind had been with God reflection for eons and eons and eons. So he came down here the reflection came down here to save the mind. So when Jesus looks at us, he know us by the words in our hearts. He know us by our thoughts. That he ain't gotta say nothing to us, because when he see us, he don't see all of our faults and stuff. You know, he see his friend. He see his mind, because it's one body, one mind, one soul, one be. We all trying to be one. So Jesus got one vision. He got one vision. This the way I look at it. So the mind is in trouble. The mind is split up. The mind is in everybody. The mind is in peril. The mind is being attacked. The mind is trying to be controlled. The mind isn't free. The mind is in bondage. The mind is being enslaved. And what would Jesus say? I'm gonna go save my friend. So when he look at each and every one of you, he look at you as a friend. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept him. But guess what? When the word comes to you, and if the word is in you, then the word will confine you. And when the word comes to you, the word comes through another mind, a mind that has woken up, a mind that realizes that it's fragmented and it needs its other pieces. So it's going to go out and speak, it's going to go out and talk, and it's God's thinking. God is putting himself together. He's putting his thoughts together. He's getting his mind together. God is planning something. You want to be in on the plan. So Jesus came down here to save our minds, y'all, because he know what's in our heart. He came to save our mind, because our minds was being tricked. Our minds was being warped. People were afraid to think on their own, to believe in their own thoughts that come to them. And goodness comes to you. Goodness comes to you in understanding. Goodness comes to you in wisdom. Goodness is sent to you. Faith is sent to you. All these things are sent to you. But y'all, what got me last night is when I went to bed and I was thinking about the word blood and kingdom. The word kingdom created the blood that runs through our body. And kingdom is everything in heaven. Just think of the whole kingdom of heaven. So I thought about it, y'all. My brother called me this morning, told me he had a dream about our mother. Our mother passed, and our mother had a bag of puppies. And one of the puppies, the first puppy she got, she named it Kingdom. So was that a coincidence? Because I didn't tell my brother about my dream I had last night. So that's how I know I'm supposed to bring you guys the word. So the word kingdom, my mother named this puppy Kingdom. So the word kingdom wants to express itself. The word blood wants to express itself. So everything in heaven is in our blood, y'all. It's running through our blood. This is how God gets through us. This is how the kingdom of heaven gets to us through the blood. You have to listen to the blood. The blood speaks. You got white blood cells and red blood cells. White blood cells fight your battles. White blood cells attack. Then you got antibodies. The antibodies, man, they go get homies to come and defeat other things that coming in that's invading y'all. We are nothing but God insides living on the outside. So when I thought about the word kingdom, guess what? Kingdom showed up again in my imagination. When they took that spear and they stuck it in Jesus' side, what came out of his side? Water and blood. And guess what? They didn't mix together. Water stayed on her side, blood stayed on his side, right? They were the ultimate witnesses of what was happening to God's face, of what was happening to God's reflection. They were scratching his reflection, spitting in his reflection. They punctured holes in his reflection. Like they just destroyed God's reflection. So water and blood were the witnesses. Water had the witness that happening to her baby. The way I'm looking at it in my imagination, y'all. Go with me. And when Jesus looked up before all this happened, didn't he say, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? It wasn't that he had forsaken him. I can imagine God feeling. I can imagine God crying. I can imagine God being like us. That was happening to his baby, which is his reflection. People were spitting in his face, but think that was his son. That was his baby. That was the sun shining on us. That was the light given to us. That was the truth given to us. That was the word given to us. But our minds was warped. And I can imagine God turning his head like, mm. I can imagine him cringing. I can imagine him probably wanting to take back everything he said and say, you know what, don't let this happen. But he knew it for a reason, y'all. It had to happen. But he couldn't come down here and set the record straight himself. He sent his reflection. So how do you see God's reflection in a person, in a mind? Because the mind is hidden in the skull. In a reflection, you got to be able to see God reflection. God reflection will make you do like this. It'll make you, it'll convict you. So the person that's bringing God to you, that's bringing the word to you, that's bringing the truth to you, a person like me, when I talk to you, you should feel something. You should get something. You should understand something. You should be able to see God in me. A person bringing God to you should have God's reflection in them. Go look at God's attributes. They should have a wisdom out of this world. They should have prophecy in them. They should have deliverance with them. They should bring salvation with them. When they leave you, you should be blessed. You should know them by their fruits. How is their marriage? How are them as a person? How do they treat people? Like you gotta know a person by their fruits, and that's how you know when a person is really bringing you the word. They should be able to have some type of power, some type of reflection of God in them. When they talk to you, you should feel convicted. Your body should do things because guess what? The light is coming into the darkness, and when the light shows up, the darkness bags out. So your body should be trembling. Like you should be feeling the presence of God because his reflection is there. So I just want y'all to come. I just want y'all to know, like, I get why no man has seen the face of God because it would be like creating another Jesus. One is enough. One is enough. God, one reflection is enough. And get to know his reflection, y'all. Get to know his reflection because he goes back to the Father to report. That's why can't nobody go back to him but him. It's like God face returning back to him. God reflection returning back to him, reporting what he's seen, reporting what he know, reporting what's happening. It's his reflection been going around checking on things. His reflection been in and out of us. His mind, his friend has been doing his job. They work together. And Jesus is going to protect his mind. And when that mind wake up, guess what? It's going to protect Jesus. I get the connection. I get the connection. Do y'all get the connection? Like, do this make sense to y'all? Take your skin off. Don't think with your skin. Get out of the holy books. But remember your scriptures. Remember your word. And only ask for the words that resonate with you. If you think about it, you go back into them scriptures. I ain't doing that, but repeating what is written, but I'm repeating it in another way. I'm coming from the back end of it with the words. Like, the words are the people in my word, in my world, not the people. The words, like the words are explaining this stuff to me, and it makes so much sense. So I want to thank God today for his reflection. I want to thank God for his reflection shining on me, being in me. And then guess what? In order to get to God, you got to be seated in him, and you got to be inside of him to be seated in him. So you got to be a lung, you got to be a heart, you got to be a vocal cord, you got to be an eye, you got to be a tendon, you got to be a nerve, you got to be some part of God. Some part. And how you check that, I think, is with your profession. Yes, like a person like me, I would be part of the mouthpiece. I got to be part of God's mouthpiece. But the way I love on people too, it's hard to say, but then it's not, because if you're a lawyer, a police officer, a judge, you care about justice. You gotta be part of God's thinking when it comes to treating people right. You gotta be a part of God right thinking, his justice thinking. And if you like a doctor or a nurse or a scientist, something like a doctor or a nurse, something with caring and taking care of the sick, you gotta be part of his heart. Like, you gotta be part of his caring system. And even if you're a mortician or a person, a coroner, just think about it. God care about how he discard things. You gotta be that part of something God bless, and he don't want it strode. He don't want it discarded any kind of way. God is concerned about why this happened to something that I bless. Why did this happen to something I love? And he don't leave us out there. So y'all start saying he let any and everything happen, because he breaks up. That's why we got all these branches of help. All these branches of help, y'all. Some things just happen. But that don't mean God just allowing things to happen. We got free will. But he's made so many branches of help for us. For every part of your body, there's a specialist. A person that just focus on that part of the body. A person that can just help you with that part of the body. He didn't leave nothing out, y'all. Even down to trash. We got a way to discard our trash. But coroners and morticians, man, a person that care about you after you die, person that put their hands on you after you die, care about where you rest after you die, caring about what happened to you, the reason you died, if you was wrong, just that's God thinking, that's his caring, y'all. Go with me in the spirit realm. So he can't come down here and give us himself in the whole sense, because he giving us himself in pieces, and you could grab on to any piece you want. You got a choice to grab on to any piece of him, but be a piece of him. Be attracted to him. Be a part of him, y'all. Be a part of him. Respiratory therapist. Come on, y'all. Y'all a part of God. Breathing. You got to be in this chakra area somewhere. All you Reiki people, all you meditation people, you shaman, you care. Come on, y'all. We are a part of God's insides. So I get why no man can't see God. Because you on the inside of God, living out. It's like, how you gonna look in there and see what's in there? You can't get in there and see, no. But you can get to see with your inner eye. And that's how God trying to get us to see. And that's how I'm trying to get y'all to see. I think my video went too long, so I'm going to go. But if this helped anybody who been reading their Bible for years and years and just not getting a connection, I just gave you some tea, baby, and dropped you some golden nuggets. Somebody at my door. I love you guys, and have a beautiful day.